I apologize for the one who followed me 3 times. In that brief moment, I felt your sincerity, as if you were saying that we are on the same side of democracy.
I introduced myself as a YTN anchor and showed him pointing a gun at Brannon. CNN reports that spokesperson On is the spokesperson of the main opposition Democratic Party of Korea and a former YTN.
December 5th, school helicopter today will never be remembered as an ordinary day. No, in fact, since it started last night, it would be correct to say that it was an incident that shook the Republic of Korea overnight. In the short drama that lasted only 155 minutes of the declaration and lifting of emergency martial law, there were miraculous moments created by the Republic of Korea's military assembly, media, and citizens performing their respective roles. This incident was like a scene from a tense movie, and sometimes a documentary full of humanity. It made me think deeply about what kind of leader I should be in the future. The moment I was taking a breather late at night and organizing tomorrow's routine, my cell phone notifications rang one after another. The moment the state of emergency was declared, I felt dizzy. What's going on? I checked the breaking news and found that President Yoon Seok-yeol had declared martial law. The news that came immediately after this was the immediate movement of the military. On the orders of the president, the military immediately moved to take control of the National Assembly. Looking at helicopters flying and military vehicles moving, on the one hand, our military is really well prepared. I was impressed, but on the other hand, I also wondered if I should go this far. The military's organizational strength and preparedness for actual combat were amazing, but my mind became complicated when I thought about who was responsible for judging whether the order was indeed correct. I don't usually trust Congress. This is because they thought they were mostly busy fighting and just holding each other back. But tonight, our Congress completely overturned my expectations. Regardless of whether the ruling or opposition parties had an urgent need to lift martial law, the process of coming together as one to push for a resolution in the National Assembly was like a scene in a movie in which heroes challenge mission enable. The sight of members of Congress gathering in Parliament to avoid the military without hesitation was touching in itself. Especially, their determination to pass the martial law proposal was truly amazing. I, who had been cynical about politics, even for a moment, applauded and said, "When I'm really good, I'm doing well." As soon as news of martial law was heard, citizens also began to move. SNS has literally become a venue for real-time information exchange, and live broadcasts of several politicians, including party leader Lee Jae-myung, conveyed guidelines for action to citizens. What was particularly impressive was the unity of the people. The citizens who poured into the streets did not just make a fuss, but also surrounded the National Assembly and made their voices clear. The most touching of those scenes was the moment when the military and citizens confronted each other. Citizens chose dialogue over violence, and soldiers bowed their heads and apologized to citizens. I was able to feel once again that soldiers are someone's family, someone's friend, and citizens like us. The human side they showed made it impossible to remember this incident as a mere conflict. Even in a critical situation, the media has properly performed its role as a watchdog of democracy. Despite external pressure and threats, he quickly reported accurate information and saved the people in confusion. Thanks to this, citizens were able to respond wisely without being swayed by emotions. I realized once again how important the power of the media to convey the truth is. And news of the lifting of martial law at 2 in the morning came. It was finally over. It was a short event that lasted only 155 minutes, but this incident contained numerous messages in an urgent development. The army followed orders and moved nimbly. Congress defended democracy with unity and determination. Citizens have proven themselves to be the true masters of democracy by choosing dialogue over violence. The media acted as guardians of democracy, protecting the truth. Thanks to so many people doing their part, we were able to overcome this situation. Through this day's experience as a manager, I have been thinking a lot about which path I should take as a leader. Leadership is not just about giving orders and following them. I learned that sometimes the real role of a leader is to wonder if the order is right, who gets hurt, and who gets protected. Whether President Yoon Seok-yeol intended it or not, this national combat test left us with important lessons. If I become a communicator, I won't just stay as an administrator who delivers orders. I want to be the person who thinks with teachers, represents their voice, and makes the best decisions for students. As if all the soldiers, members of Congress, citizens and journalists in this incident faithfully fulfilled their roles in their respective positions. Today's events have left me with more meaning than just news. This was strong evidence that democracy in the Republic of Korea is still strong and that we have the strength to not be shaken by any crisis. And I learned important lessons about what kind of person I should be and what kind of leadership I should dream of. I hope that someday I will have the opportunity to pass on all these experiences to children and tell them how precious the value of democracy is. It was a great lesson I learned today.